Hi guys. Okay, so it's a bit of a chilly spring day, and I'm off just down the road to Road, which is a little village. It's classed as being in Frome, but it's much nearer to Trowbridge, so it just has a Frome postcode. Anyway, so I'm going to Road to see a working Cocker Spaniel called Milo, who's having a few issues, so you have to excuse me. I'm recovering from the flu and I'm still not 100%, so I might be a bit sniffy and breathless which is really lovely, isn't it? Anyway, yeah, lovely Milo, who's having some weird aggression issues. Now, they're not actually sure what's triggering it. It seems to be very random, but I don't think it will be. So what I am hoping is that the first thing I can determine is exactly why we're having aggression issues and what's causing it. And once we can understand that, I can put a really good system in place for resolving it. So yeah, it's going to be possibly a little bit of a tricky one. I don't know until I get there. So yeah, I'm sure I will see something happen whilst I'm there. It sounds like it, although it's random, it does happen relatively frequently, so we shall see. I will talk about that afterwards, as by then hopefully I will have figured out exactly what's going on. So we need to put a plan in place for that. And then we've also got some typical gun dog issues with recall and a high chase drive. So that's obviously fairly standard, so we know what we need to do to sort that out. And it's just the indoor aggression issues which we need to really be having a good think about and finding out exactly what's going on so that we can put a good plan in place for sorting it all out. Oh, and he also is pulling on the lead a lot, so apparently he was they tried him with a slip lead, but he just pulls through it and strangles himself, which we absolutely can't have. So I want to have a look at his heel work as well and find out what's going to be the best type of lead for him, because I know that currently they are using a harness, which, as you know, isn't generally a good idea. So sometimes we do use harnesses, would you believe? I know predominantly we're not big fans, just purely because if they pull on a harness, it's quite damaging, and the harnesses are very restrictive, which again can cause damage with their shoulders because they're not getting full range of motion. So yeah, I mean, if he's walking perfectly to heel on a harness, and I've always said this with all dogs, if they're walking perfectly to heel on whatever tool you're using, then I really don't care, and there's no need to change it. But when we have pulling or issues or things like reactivity, which I don't think we have here, but anyway, just a bit of an aside, then harnesses are not helpful at all and can do much more harm than good. People quite often think that they're the safest option, but they are far from it. So yeah, I want to have a look at his walking both on and off lead. So yeah, we'll be doing a decent walk, having a look at all of that, but I really want to have a look at, obviously, anything with aggression is vital to get sorted out as quickly as possible, because it's just dangerous. So we need to really get a good handle on that and figure out what's going on so that we can get that sorted out, and then we can spend plenty of time having a look at his walking issues as well. So we've got a fair bit to do today. Looking forward to meeting everybody, and I will hopefully take some nice videos and get back to you after. Increasing his level of intensity. He's like, oh my god, I can do it, whereas actually what we want is calm. So if you've got him, look at you. You were such a good boy. Oh. Wow, so much for pulling on the way home. We've not got to the bit. Okay, let's see what happens then. So we might need to do the drop and turn then when he decides he knows where he is. And we're definitely going home. Oh, he's looking up and everything. He's a good boy. Being an angel. Is she lying about you, Milo? She just made it all up so I could come see you.
Milo, come. Leave it.
Call him. Call him now. Yes, good boy. Yes, perfect. Boy. Perfect. So, you see how that...
Milo, come. Milo, come.
Yes, perfect. Good boy. You were about to get distracted by a bird. You changed your mind, didn't you? Eh? Good man. This is actually really good. He's a good boy. Yeah, he says, I just want to do heel now. I'm loving it. Yes. Good boy. That's all right. At least you noticed. Are you having happy times? You're so much happier without the long line, aren't you? Eh? He's such a happy boy. Oh, love him. Wow, that was on a dime. Oh my goodness, Milo. You're such a quick learner, mate. He's a happy boy.
Milo, come. Yes, good boy.
Good boy. He says, yeah, Mum, I've got this sussed. I got this sussed. It's all great. Okay, guys, that was such a lovely session. Oh, little Milo. He's got such a sweet little face and he's so clever. Oh my goodness. He just picked everything up so quickly. And really interesting, actually. I don't actually think that what they were telling me was aggression is actually aggression. So they took a video, which was really helpful because he was a perfect angel today, so I don't think I would have seen him do anything wrong, but I had a video to watch and he was doing some very controlling behaviors like darting in and back and a lot of barking, but I wasn't really, his eyes hadn't gone. So generally when we're seeing a dog and they're being genuinely aggressive, their eyes change a lot. So you might have heard it described as whale eye or whatever, and sometimes it is whale eye, other times it's not actually whale eye. Their eyes have just changed. They don't look like your dog anymore. They look completely different in their eyes. Yeah, not just in terms of their behaviour. And there was none of that in this video. He was definitely behaving in a very high intensity, over the top way, but I wouldn't describe it as aggressive. It was more extreme, over the top attempts to play fight, basically. And I can see how it can come across as aggressive, but with the level of experience that I've had, obviously, it really wasn't. So that was actually a really good thing, but obviously still massively needs dealing with, because we don't want it taking that next step and becoming aggression. There was certainly a lot of controlling behaviours there, and it was very, very over the top, and he wasn't listening to basic commands. He was just, what's going on? Oh, I'm frustrated. It was more frustration and attempts to control and stress and just, everything all mixed up, like he just didn't know what emotion he wanted to express, basically. Like a kid having a bit of a tantrum, not really knowing how they feel. So yeah, we've obviously put some things in place as to how we're going to deal with that. Primarily, I think this dog puppy, he's only young, he's living in a very wound up state all the time. They've got these beautiful big like quadruple patio doors, if you like, and so he can see out into a lovely big garden with a field beyond it, and there's birds because it's very countryside. So, and he's just fixated and focused on these birds because that's his drive. Obviously, that's his work drive, and so he's just pacing up and down in front of these glass doors, staring in the garden. When he's out in the garden, obviously he goes into bird drive, and I think he's just been living in this really high intensity state, which means that when something happens that he's not quite sure how to deal with, he just loses it, and everything just gets a bit over the top, and he doesn't know what to do with himself. And that's what I think it is. I'm pretty sure. So we've done a lot of work on calming him down, just generally stopping him from pacing up and down, stopping him going into bird drive. We're going to recondition the garden so he doesn't see that as a place where we instantly go into bird drive. You know, we're going to go out and do some training here, or we're going to do some focused play, but what we're not going to do is just instantly go into this high chase bird drive all the time. So lots of work in the house on keeping him chilled, and wonderful walk. My goodness, we conditioned him to a vibration collar, which he just picked up so quickly, to the point where I was actually able to take the long line off, and wow, he was fantastic. We had one moment where his drive really went over the top because there was a lot of birds in a line, and it was just all a bit much, but he still listened. We had to have the buzzer on a little bit higher, but that's fine. He listened, he came running back for his treat. Fantastic. Might not have been instant, but it was brilliant. And the fact that we were able to, I mean, we did do a decent walk, but by the end of the walk, we were actually able to take that line off and not be worried about not being able to get him back. And he was just loving it. He was loving the learning process, loving the training. Wonderful seeing him running about, having so much fun, and yeah, really learning to have a great recall and to listen to his lead command when he gets into the crazy bird drive. So it was nice because we were still able to let him have a bit of a sniff. And I've always said with the drive, we're not getting rid of it completely, but there's got to be control, because if we want him to enjoy off-lead freedom, being able to run around, being able to have a bit of a sniff and go, oh look, there's a bird and that's a bit exciting, but then still listen out for, oh, I need to go back now because they're calling me. Well, that's the best of both worlds, isn't it? Because I really think I know for a fact, without a distance collar like the vibrate collar, he's not going to be safe to be off a lead. He's going to be on a training line forever. He's never going to learn to snap out of that drive, because that drive is always going to override his desire to come back and get a treat. You know, there's nothing we could hold in our hand that would ever be better than the birds. Just nothing. So the joy of conditioning the vibrate, buzzer, whatever you want to call it, just meant that he was learning, buzz means come and get a treat. Higher buzz means stop what you're doing and come and get a treat. And he's so bright. Partly because he's very young. Obviously, he's a working cocker. He's got a lot of brains in there. And it does help that we caught this really young, and great owners who I know are going to work really hard and stick to everything. So, yeah, really, really enjoyed that session. And considering it started off being a really horrible, wet, bit of a miserable grey day, we had glorious sunshine. So yeah, it was lovely. So another nice day. I'll see you next time.